What's up, everybody? And welcome to episode 12 of the Masters of Evil Live podcast. I'm Mike, joined with my good friends here.
Sleepy Tom and Sleepy Alan down there.
Fuck, I'm Sleepy Mike today, too. I'll tell you, if I'm being honest.
I was trying to get a nap today. I didn't get to take one, so that kind of sucked.
I don't even know what naps are like.
The only greatest thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Back after a 2-week hiatus, and Tom went on vacation with all his real friends while the rest of us worked. And but here we are. We're here to talk about the book this week. So, as you all know, every week we randomly pick a book and read it and talk about it and rate it and other things. This week we're talking about Coda, which was published by Boom Studios by Simon Spurrier, who most would know from probably The Spire or 2000 AD, and then art by Mateus Bagara, I believe his name is, who I don't really know too much about. A quick synopsis of the book. They just say that they present a broken fantasy world that's perfect for fans of Mad Max and The Lord of the Rings, which I guess I don't really know how I feel about the Lord of the Rings aspect about that, but
Yeah.
So I'll finish it. In the aftermath of an apocalypse which wiped out nearly all magic from a once wondrous fantasy world, a former bard named a man of few words, so nicknamed because his standard reply is which I got another thought about, seeks a way to save the soul of his wife, with nothing but a foul-tempered mutant unicorn and his wit to protect him, but is unwillingly drawn into a brutal power struggle which will decide forever who rules the weird wasteland. So sums it up pretty nice in my opinion. I don't get the Lord of the Rings vibe from this at all. That was weird.
Yeah, not at all.
No.
I guess like you could say Mad Max, just because I guess anything post-apocalyptic could be anything semi-steampunk, I guess.
Yeah, it's a
could
cop
be.
out.
Yeah. Nonetheless, pretty good synopsis. The book was good. I enjoyed it. What'd you guys think?
The art was fantastic. Spurrier talks a lot in a lot of books, and the main character is like writing a book-ish kind of thing the entire time. So he's talking a whole fucking lot. So there's a lot to read throughout. Some of the crazy art that's in there. Some of the colors it's so bright and vibrant, and then like so dark and scary at the same time. The art was definitely my favorite part of the whole thing.
I agree.
Alan's butt agrees too.
Well, no, I sold some books and I couldn't remember where they were at, and
He's not even paying attention. He's looking for books.
No, there were like there's some parts where there's not really a lot of reading at all, and then there's a good little portion. What sucks is I totally forgot that I had the trade for this, the first volume, and I read it all on Comixology, and I realized today that I had the first trade for it. But I mean, I overall I liked it. The first volume, you kind of just don't really get a whole lot because you're like, where the fuck is this going? And then like the second and third volume, it gets more into like the actual, like I guess kind of like it's almost like a romance story because it's all about him and his wife. But I mean, I liked it a lot.
It had a headlopper feel, but like with really vibrant art in certain places, even when he carry around at the head of a wizard for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely felt the same way about this. I felt like, so I'll step back and I will agree with you. Like, Simon Spurrier, he definitely has a very distinct voice too, and like every character sounds the same, right? Like maybe there's just a little bit more inflection on that hard English accent in some of them, but yeah, I don't like this was it was super fun. But yeah, there was a good solid through line, I guess, but I think again, I don't know what the theme is here, but just a bunch of characters with not much backstory. It's like here's a new character and they're in it for for like a couple pages, and then here's a new character and then they're in it for a couple pages, and then those characters might meet once, but I don't know. Even I didn't even feel like there was any closure with the main character. By the end of this, so I don't know if this is supposed to continue on or
you get closure at the end. Well, I think after this, there's 3 more issues.
Oh, really?
So I think in total there's 15 issues.
Oh, maybe I read the only 2 trades I could find.
Yeah, I can only find 12 issues.
What?
I said I could only find 12 issues in total.
Oh, well, maybe I.
So did you only read volume 1 and volume 2?
I guess I did then. Yeah. So I don't know. So I
only
again
read 2 volumes. All 3 of them were on Comicology for free.
I must have missed it. I thought I downloaded everything.
Fucking trash.
Or I read 2 and then we didn't do the show. I didn't finish the other one and just assumed that I did. And here we are a week later thinking in my head that I read the whole thing.
That's quite possible.
It's most likely possible. I will admit that work has been stupid. So
maybe not. I think there is only 12 issues. Because it says 15 issues on Comicology. I thought there was 15.
Yeah, I mean, if I open up my iPad, I'm sure I'll see exactly where I left off. I had thought I finished it. Either way,
there's closure at the end of the 3rd volume.
well, then I gotta go back, but
they still even kind of like leave it open ended where it could go on further because, I mean, what ended with you? How did it end for you?
I don't even know. I remember his wife becoming the like berserker woman, crazy psychopath. I don't really remember too much past that.
Oh, well then maybe you didn't read the 3rd volume then.
Yeah, maybe that's the one. Anyways, so I some of the fun, the really awesome. I mean, the art was amazing, and I will just say, a pentacorn is probably the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. Legitimately, like I think one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah,
I'd like to see more of those.
Yeah, I like that too. God, I can't. I honestly don't remember it either from last week. We should have not skipped a week. We should have just read something different in the week off that we had.
Here's a so they have some of the background to the story, right? Is there's magic and none of the magic's really explained, right? There's this green, I forget what they call it, but it's like it's an elixir essentially, right? And it's like a superpower elixir, and he's giving it to the fucking pentacorn that he has because it's got 5 badass horns on it, but it's a unicorn. And it juiced the motherfucker up like he's on, magical meth, I guess. And that's what he looks like. And that's the main character, whatever they call him. So the art is fucking awesome and brutal. And I really liked it. I thought that like the facial expressions of the main character, because he like theoretically didn't talk a lot. He more or less just wrote in his book and had some thought. Like that was really cool. Like I thought that it was done really well. Like you can kind of you could like scroll through this book without reading the words and get like a lot of the story from the art, which I always enjoy. I always think is great.
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't realize the fact that he didn't talk a lot because he wrote so much. So like you were reading his thoughts and things like that in his words, but he wasn't speaking them. So I never really put two and two together. The fact that he actually wasn't speaking to people a ton.
Yeah, and it didn't dawn on me about the whole thing where they were calling him Hum. Like I thought it was a joke, but I never took it serious until when I was reading the synopsis for this. And they said that, and I'm like, oh, well, that reminds me of like Rorschach because of like the Herm. I don't know if you've ever seen like, you know, Herm. It's like all over T-shirts and shit. It's like that classic trope, the character that doesn't speak. So,
well, I mean, he does speak, but it's just I think every time they ask him what his name is, he just kind of doesn't really care.
Yeah.
To reply.
Yeah, that might be it.
He goes, It was. I mean, I don't know. It was good. I thought it was kind of drawn out a lot. But overall, it was good. I wish the thing driving the giant or whatever the fuck it was an actual. I can't remember what it was called, a wit or something like that. Is that what they're called?
I don't remember.
And it ended up being like a thing with goblins in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn, we suck. We should have just read a whole nother book.
We probably should have brushed up on this. I did. I still have some screen grabs that I got. This is the old dude, right? So this is the dude who he's holding off the head later, who holding the head of later, right? I just thought this was a great piece.
You don't really ever see anybody through the whole book use magic besides whenever he gives it to the fucking little thing that he's riding, and then later on you see the mermaid. I think she drinks it or something like that, and then she becomes like better looking, I guess.
No, I think I agree. I don't think you see people use magic as much as like magic just exists around them. You know what I mean? Like it like seems like a magical place, but you don't see like them like. Yeah, they have like this elixir, and that's about it. That's as much as you see.
And then you think that his wife is being held captive, and then you find out that she's just crazy.
An actual a berserker, literally.
Yeah,
she bulks up into this mega Hulk-like character, and pretty much, I don't know. I don't remember if she told her to stay away or. I don't know what, and she just runs off. That's where I left off, I think.
Tom's muted right now because he's peeing in a bag.
Yep, he is.
I'm muted because my roommate goes in and out the front door, which is like 10 feet from me, and slams the fucking door every single time.
No
Terrible.
respect.
No respect.
I hope whenever he slams the door, he looks back at you, like directly into your eyes.
He knows what he's doing.
So let's go this way. All right. So obviously, we don't have too many feelings about this book. We can rate it.
It was good.
It was good, right? Do you like as you're reading books now? Like I feel like every week we are like talking about these books that are like, or maybe this is just me, right? But they're like shorter in scale. They're like not really big in regards to how many issues they are and stuff like that. And I feel like in theory, I love that. Like I love something that is like quick and I can get a whole story and read it. But then I'm always sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really know who any of these characters were. And I don't know why I gave a fuck. Like, so I'm kind of like, maybe I do want more in like, cause a lot of the books I read on a regular basis are ongoing, obviously, but I'm not sure that as far as indie characters go, right, that I want these short, like 12 issue books. Like if you give me a character I know a ton about, like I'll just say Batman because it's easy. Like I'm Yeah, he said Batman, kill me. But like anyone, right? Fucking, it could be fucking Iron Man. I don't care, right? Like if it's something, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but all these characters you already know. Like I feel like even if you don't read comic books to a certain extent, you already know like the origin of Batman.
Well, that's my
what I mean?
point. Like, and that's my point. Like, you know enough about the character that a cool like a 12 issue maxi series, whatever you want to call it, is like could be like really impactful. Where like 12 issues of characters I know nothing about, I don't like, unless it's done like extremely really well. I don't know that I'll ever care. Like, I need more investment in that. And I'm not sure if it might just be the books we've been reading, or it might just be, I don't know. Do you feel that way at all?
Well, I think if it was like that, it would be 4 or 5 issues of that book explaining everyone's backstory, and then you have seven books to tell a fucking story in. It's not gonna you're not gonna be. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to have another fucking monstrous fucking read where it's you're reading 12 fucking books in one panel because the fucking so much dialogue. It's like, fuck, dude, Jesus.
Yeah, but you could tell stories without just like laying it all out. And like, if I'm just saying, if he had, would a book like this be better if he had, and maybe his story was only this long, right? So we can't say what the writer's story was, but if he had 30 issues to work this story out, would it been more enjoyable, where like you could tell a bunch of stories in the beginning and then get back in, and Alan's answer to everything is, if it's more than 5 issues, I hate it. So
well, I mean, it's also we're reading these like one and done.
I agree, Dr. Arcane.
It's there's not going to be Coda black and white, or dark Knight metal Coda, or it's.
I think about the series Black
Coda year one. There's we're reading a story to read a story. There's no. I mean, I get it. It'd probably be a little bit better, but I mean, I enjoyed it. There wasn't anything that I hated about it.
Well, think of it this way too. When like we read Deadly Class, which has gone on for 30 or 40 issues now, we only read volume 1 and felt like we got a lot out of that first volume and a lot of story and a good book, and that was only 6 issues.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to the way the book's written and what they're trying to get across to you. I wouldn't say that Rick Remender decided to write Deadly Class and assume he was gonna make it to 40 issues.
No, yeah.
So he may have had a big plan to begin with, but you always have to assume that as an indie book, you're gonna be able to pull off 12.
Right.
You got to get your whole story across, unless things progress and work out for you where you can keep going like that. So I don't know. I just kind of lean towards the fact that it just could have been written better.
Yeah. and I hear your point, because if it could have been maybe it would have been an ongoing series. It would have been more than 12 issues. Could have been. Who knows? That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it could have, because, like I said, the first volume, what is it, like issue 1 through 5, I think, if that's what the first volume is. You don't really know a lot.
No.
Like they could have explained a lot more. Like even at the end of the first volume, I was like, "Where is this going?"
Yeah.
And then you meet his wife, and that becomes the end game of the whole series. And it's like, well, I mean, you could have introduced his wife a couple issues earlier, or even done more backstory on him and his wife, or what happened, why there was no magic. Like, yeah, I still liked it. I mean, I don't really care what y'all think. Y'all are idiots, but
I'm not saying I didn't like this at all.
Look, why are you saying you don't like it, man? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying I don't like you mostly.
I'm tired and I'm angry. No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine that.
I'm always angry.
I certainly think that. Hey, listen, I agree with that. I believe Tom said earlier the art was fantastic, and I don't mind the words. Like there was the one issue I remember that was like black and white, where he's telling the little girl essentially the story about how shit like got fucked up, and like that was one of the better issues I thought, and it was a lot of just him talking, I guess, or telling his story, whatever. I love that. That was cool.
Let's bring somebody else onto the show.
What is wrong with you? You're such a dick.
Next week on the podcast, we'll have 500 different people on here, and we'll all gasp at things that nobody has in grasp or whatever.
Well, one thing we know is when a topic's over and we're done talking about it and we can move on, that's for goddamn sure. So
rate the book. Come on, Mike, rate it.
I'll give it a 4 on art and a 3 on story. I'm gonna go a solid 7 out of 10.
Um,
And mind you, I didn't finish the fucking book, or at least I don't think I did. So I don't know.
You don't even remember the parts that you did read.
Bro, it's been a long 2 weeks of work. Like,
Yes.
give me a break.
I would probably say the exact same thing, to be honest. The art was about a 4. It wasn't the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but it was really neat for what it was, and there was definitely cool things that I had never seen before. And that was cool. So I would say a 4. And the writing, I could have asked for more of certain things or less of another. But again, it was a fun read. It wasn't a bad book by any means. So I would give it a 3-ish. 3, yeah.
I'm gonna agree with y'all as well. I mean, I think the art for me was probably the best part of the whole thing. The story was kind of lacking in some aspects, but I mean, I like the art. The art was that's the reason I picked it up in the beginning anyway. Was because of the art.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired of shit.
Solid 7s all the way around.
Solid 7s all the way around. I mean, that's good, right? That's still a really good book. 7 out of 10 is good. I'm probably going to go back and flick through the last trade.
Would you rather have 7 inches of dick inside you or 10 inches of dick inside you?
Well, I mean, the counter to that argument is 7 inches is better than 3 inches. So I mean, it's better than 5 inches, even that. So it's better than halfway. So, all right, moving on. So we did pick next week's book, or we randomly selected it through our whatever it is randomizer, and we're reading We Three by Grant Morrison,
I think I have that actually.
And Frank Quitely, the team from what is it called?
TV show.
Superman, All-Star Superman.
Grant Morrison and his fucking animal obsession.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is actually. We Three, realistic and relevant, startling, disturbing, and perhaps enlightening. A provocative tale. It's produced by Vertigo. I've read this before. It's very quick. It's like,
Are those mech suits for animals?
they are mech suits for animals.
It's only 700 issues.
And it's only 750 issues. And no, it's like 4 or 5 issues, and it's really quick, and it is I haven't read it in a long time, but I liked it, so we'll see. Outside of that, Real quick, I'll circle back around. Dr. Arcane said he's convinced horror books are where it's at. I could agree with that because I some of the best books coming out lately have been horror books, which is
which leads us right into what we're fixing to talk about.
Which is not a normal thing. But it actually does lead us right into what we're fixing to talk about. Not that.
Here's some more animals and mech
Here's
suits.
some more animals and mech suits. I don't know if any of you care about like any of the
Oh yeah, it's only 4 issues or 3 issues.
Yeah, it's quick.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4 or 5, yeah, maybe even less. I don't know if you care about all this Disney Plus issues bullshit with all these people suing Disney Plus because they're Scarlett Johansson is suing and because of their Disney Plus money.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Emma Stone's gonna possibly sue now.
Emma Stone, yeah.
Cruella.
So they
in all honesty, are you like you enjoy what you do because you're still doing it and you're making fucking millions of dollars? Are you really bummed? I guess if you're losing out on more millions of dollars, that seems kind of shitty. But at the same time, you're getting a fucking lot of it.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't be mad.
She got like what 20 million just for the movie, and then I think she's mad because she has to get like she was supposed to get like I guess some sort of the profit from the sales.
Yeah, well, there's 2 sides of it, all right? Like, I mean, you'd have to assume that it would have done better in movies if they didn't release it on Disney Plus, right? So that's the first thing. Like, that's just an assumption.
But also didn't
prove. But Disney broke their contract with her. So, I would imagine that Disney wouldn't do something like that without explicitly, like, they've got to have something. Like, they have to know what they're doing. Apparently, the same shit's happening with whatever that movie that just came out with The Rock is, but he, like, came out and said he's not going to sue Disney or whatever.
Because The Rock is the nicest man in the world. Even though he's jacked up on fucking steroids, somehow he controls that rage, and he's like, whatever. I mean, honestly, that fucking Rock movie probably wasn't going to do great anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he really gives a shit, anyways. Yeah,
no, he's in every single movie that you can ever imagine. I mean,
do you think she's just like
her Black Widow career is over? So just now you got to get the rest of the money from the mouse before you take off.
I mean, also, but I think, like, I know HBO Max released Space Jam 2 or whatever in theaters and on HBO Max for free. And I think it did really well in theaters, even though it was on HBO Max. Like, I don't understand, whatever. I mean, I'm sure LeBron James is not hurting for money, but and I'm also sure that, she's not hurting for money either. Scarlett Johansson's not like, oh, man, we can't pay the electricity bill this month. We gotta wait till no. Like, she's not hurting for money. Like,
right?
Yeah. I bootlegged the movie, so fuck you, Scarlett Johansson. just I mean, and what's it called? Comes out tomorrow or the day after tomorrow? Suicide Squad, the new one.
Tomorrow.
That comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really? Jesus fuck.
Yeah, and they're releasing it right onto HBO Max. So
really,
yeah.
Oh, sweet! I can't wait to watch that. I'm stoked about that.
It's the first DC movie I'm excited about.
Apparently, it's really good. Like, it's been getting. I think it had like 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes or some shit like that. Like,
it was 100% for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it, even though I think King Shark looks stupid as fuck and John Cena's an idiot. But
King Shark's also being voiced by Sylvester Stallone, though, so that's
yeah.
I mean, that's how Sylvester Stallone sounds in real life, so it makes sense. Like,
yeah,
you can't understand anything he says.
I don't know. I'm just hopeful because it just looks like one of those movies that's going to be ridiculously over the top but fun. And James Gunn he's good. Like I trust James Gunn. So we'll see. Either way,
when you give him an R rating,
yeah,
you have a good movie.
right. So
I like the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I didn't think. I don't know why people hate it. There's some people that hate on that one a lot.
I don't like the first one more. I like the second one a lot better than the first one.
I don't know. I like the first one a lot. I've recently been contemplating going back, and I've never done like a full watch through of all the movies. I've watched like all of them independently, like a couple of times, not all of them over again, but I've been thinking like I just finished The Sopranos again, and I don't really want to start anything else, so maybe I'll just watch all those movies in chronological order again.
You skip Miss Marvel
And Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. I actually didn't mind Iron Man 3. I like Thor 2, honestly, because I like whenever his like little homeboy would take like the thing and get all fucking big. I can't remember what the hell it was.
The worst Marvel movie is still better than a lot of the movies that come out, in my opinion. I mean, or at least the worst, like at least within the similar vein of like big action, over the top blockbuster movies. Like obviously, I'll take out of the equation like, the very few indie or intelligent movies that are made nowadays, but there's not many of those anyways. So, all right, well, so we'll all watch Suicide Squad for next week. We can talk about that. Spoilers, right? If it's coming out tomorrow.
Why not?
I don't know. Why not?
Let's do it.
Yeah, you only got 4 issues to read, so I mean,
I'm gonna wait till the day before
to do both. He's gonna be watching it and reading the book at the same time.
I'm actually there's like a where I live. There's like another little Comic Con that I'm thinking about going to on Saturday, so I might do that. It's like in the middle of nowhere, so I'm kind of debating on if it's worth the 2.5-hour drive and the $40 to get in. If it's like a little hick town, and I'm like, might be.
There could be gold there.
Yeah, there could be gold, but I also need to stop spending money on comic books.
How many cons have you been to so far this summer, Alan?
Just 2. But they're, I mean, the second one that I went to, like the bigger one that I went to is like the major one in Houston, and then I went to like this little rinky-dink one in it's like a city that's like an hour away from here, and that one was trash. I fucking regret going to that one.
We found out that when we were in Tennessee, there was a comic book convention happening 15 minutes away from us. And we didn't find out till it was a half hour from closing on its last day.
Yeah, what's it called? Steve would have pressured y'all into buying books.
Right. He didn't try and get anyone to buy anything the entire weekend, and I was very surprised. No matter where we were.
Was he sick?
He's a changed man these days.
Coronavirus changed him.
That's hilarious. Have you been to any cons, Tom?
No, there hasn't really been anything out here at all. There was the Torpedo Con happened in LA, and no, I did not. I had other things going on, so I did not go. But I'm going to. I did go to a little it was called Spooky Expo, and so there was no comics or anything, and it was mostly like handmade garbage. But we have, what is it? Awaken the Spirits next weekend, which is another like kind of Halloween expo kind of thing. So maybe I can score some like famous monster magazines or something over there.
Some LSD. Oh yeah, I forgot that he lives in Texas. He lives in I can't remember where he lives. No, there's it's called Belton Belton Comic Con. It's like real close to Austin, I think. That's going on Saturday and Sunday this week. That I kind of want to go. But
So, I just missed the con that I haven't missed in, I mean, I don't know, a few years, probably like 4 or 5 years at least, no longer than that, like 5 or 6 years. Terrificon out here in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun. That's always a fucking blast because it's at a casino and a bunch of people go out there. And I miss that. I'm not going to Baltimore because I can't. So it's looking like, unless there's some other smaller stuff that pops up, that I'm probably not going to hit a con until December, where I will actually probably go to C2E2 for the first time because I've never been to it.
I was not going to go.
Yeah. So why this year? Why are you going this year in fucking December?
It's because, like,
do you not want to buy your kids Christmas presents because you're going to spend all your money at a fucking comic book show in December?
No.
What's wrong with you? Terrible dad.
No.
Terrible dad. You don't even have a mustache anymore, you
work.
piece of shit.
See, look, Steve doesn't even want you to go. He's not going to tell you to spend money at all. He just tells you to stay home.
That's fucking bullshit.
It's because Steve and I aren't going.
Oh, I didn't know Steve wasn't going either. Jesus. Now I might not go. I don't know. I haven't bought any tickets. My plans were that I would potentially go. But who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Also,
Fly to California instead.
I want to talk about Steve for a second.
It's a great time.
I really like Steve. And then I saw a picture of him with y'all this weekend, and he was wearing cargo shorts. And now my opinion on Steve is going downhill. It's almost like Mike. See, you know what's crazy is, like, when Mike had the mustache, it looked ridiculous, and now that he doesn't have the mustache, it bothers the shit out of me. But yes, what are you carrying in those pockets, Steve? Oh, jeez, I will burn them. I will burn your cargo shorts that you sent me. I saw them. I was like, it was like some picture where he's doing something, and I'm just like, this motherfucker is wearing cargo shorts. What kind of shit is this?
I didn't see him put anything in those pockets the whole time either.
Yeah, it's completely pointless. If you're gonna wear fucking cargo shorts,
That was good.
I guess.
He did. I don't think I posted the photo. He did fit a pancake in his pockets.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pancake?
Pocket pancakes.
Yeah, he had pocket pancakes.
The bigger brother to the pocket Oreo.
Yes.
Which is a thing.
I used to always
do. A thing that people do when it's very late and everyone's really drunk after spending all day at a con, and some random person walks up to you and pulls unwrapped Oreos out of their pockets and says, "You want an Oreo?" And then you proceed to eat those Oreos. That's called pocket Oreos. very much like this.
There you go.
When I was like
pancake. Classic.
When I was like 19 or 20 years old, I used to do a lot of Xanax, and I would fucking wear suit jackets all the time for whatever reason. And I would always like eat Subway sandwiches, and I'd keep half of the sandwich in my suit jacket for like later. And I'd be so fucked up, I forgot that I had the sandwich. So I was like trying to find something in my suit jacket. I was like, oh, there's a sandwich. But
Xanax and sandwiches, delicious.
It's definitely not a great mixture.
Yeah, no, it's a great mixture.
This could be my next album, Xanax and Footlongs.
Xanax and Footlongs. That sounds like a punk album.
Yeah.
Xanax and Footlongs.
All right, so I guess the only other thing we were potentially talking about here was the
worst spelled jacket.
Best jacket press, or what I thought it was called was Black Jacket Project.
Yeah,
which was wrong.
Sounds cool though.
Yeah, maybe. So, what do you guys think about Scott Snyder?
He kind of ruined Swamp Thing. I'll tell you. No, I'm kidding. His Swamp Thing run was pretty terrible.
From New 52, that one, right? That was
yeah. Charles Soule, I think, saved that pretty good. But no, I don't have. I don't read Batman, so I did read some of his Batman, and it was like the first Batman I read in a really long time. And there were parts of it I liked, but speaking of his Batman partner there,
Greg Capullo,
yeah. So we'll see what this is all about.
So for anyone who doesn't know, the Best Jacket Press was recently announced by Scott Snyder. It is his own imprint. I don't even know if imprint's the right word. I guess it's his own imprint within Comixology, because it's produced by Comixology Originals. So it's going to be a digital first, and then later produced by who did you say? Dark Horse? Did you say, Tom?
Yeah, Dark Horse is going to press the actual hard copies.
So there'll be actual books published by Dark Horse, and I mean, there's got to be like 7 or 8 different projects here. We could go through them briefly, but I mean, I think, Tom, you were the one who said, right? Like, he's writing all of these, and I mean, how long could these possibly go for? Like,
yeah. I would look at all of these as being like a mini, like a 6-issue thing that probably stops at 6. Like I mentioned with Hill House Comics with Joe Hill and his DC imprint, he wrote like 3 out of the 7 books that came out of that. And so other people were able to work on that and have other stories. So it is kind of surprising that Snyder is literally writing every single one of these.
Yeah.
They're amazing art teams, though. I can't deny that.
And so, like, I'm so like intrigued because, so I don't Scott Snyder. Like, I don't particularly really care one way or another about him. Like, I liked American Vampire for the most part. I thought it was pretty good.
Severed was good.
Yeah, and I read some of his Batman, or most. I probably read all of his Batman. I think I didn't read anything prior to the New 52 stuff, but I just can't read like any like his Justice League book. Everything he's written, even Metal, like it was. I don't really care about any of it. I just don't care. Like, it's not anything I care about. So I'm hopeful that some of this is going to be better. But so the first one you have here is We Have Demons, with art by Greg Capullo. So they've worked on Batman for a crazy amount of issues.
Witches was pretty good.
Yeah,
Witches with Jock was really good. Yeah. And then they continued. So they stopped that book however many issues in, and then they went on to it being like one of those Image First magazine where they would put like a few pages in it, and they're supposed to come back, I thought, but
I thought so too, but I haven't heard anything in a long time.
Yeah. So the first one here is We Have Demons. Conflict between good and evil is about to come to head when a teenage hero embarks on a journey that unveils a secret society monster mayhem. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to read all of this, but so I don't know. That art looks pretty awesome. It's a cool cover.
Yeah.
Greg Capullo obviously is an amazing artist. I am not that big of a Spawn fan, but I still respect the hell out of what he draws. So Nocterra is already out, and I don't think this is part of it, but it's on here.
Yeah, it started as a Kickstarter, and then got put in stores.
Yeah, I got the first hardcover from the Kickstarter, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I think Tony Daniel's artwork is going downhill these days.
You say Tony Danza?
Tony Danza, yeah. Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza. So I don't really know about. I mean, that's so far it's been good. I read I don't know, 2 issues of that maybe, and then Chain with artist Ariella Cristantina.
This is the only one art wise that I've never heard of.
Never heard of. Yeah. This little triangle of cows and sheep looks interesting. But welcome to White Bear, Alaska, just 1,000 miles south of the North Pole. The population in the summer is about 200. In winter, when the temperature regularly hits 20 below zero, the population dwindles down to about 20. Yeah, I'm not going to read through all this, but no idea what this is about. And I don't know who the artist is, and I don't know why I'd pick up this book. So that one's going to be skip. Clear. Francis Manipul. He's an awesome artist.
He did Flash for a real long time.
Flash.
Is that comic where that guy shows you his dick in the parking lot?
So a dazzling sci-fi thrill ride into strange dystopian future. Sounds like right up my alley. In San Francisco, private detective is working on a case for wealth. So it's got that's like
is that Metroid on the cover?
Right.
It's got like that little like noir private detective kind of, but almost like a Blade Runner feel to it, I would imagine. So I think that I'll probably get into that, especially with the art, assuming it's up to par.
There you go.
Yes. So Night of the Ghoul sold. I'm buying this no matter what. I'm going to read this just because it's
who doesn't love ghouls?
Who doesn't love ghouls? And a bold and bloody reimagining of horror monsters that celebrates classic creature features. That's all I need. And Francesco Francavilla is pretty awesome. I can't remember anything that off the top of my head, but I mean, if you just follow him on Instagram, you know how amazing of an artist he is. So
the big one that he did for a long time was Afterlife with Archie.
Oh,
he made a good little dent in that book, and it was really popular. But he's done so many Mondo posters.
Yes.
I'm literally doing a Creature from the Black Lagoon puzzle right now. Well, my girlfriend's doing most of it, but it's one of his Mondo posters for Creature. So he does a lot of poster work and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I think that's a lot of what I'm exposed to is like that kind of stuff on his Instagram and Twitter feeds and stuff like that. But he's an amazing artist. I mean, this fucking cover looks fantastic, just with that ghoul cave mouth thing. It looks awesome.
His color palette is always exactly the same too.
Yeah, almost like that, similar to like the Andrea Sorrentino type thing. A lot of the dark palette with that red that pops out. So
right.
So Barnstormers, a high-flying adventure and romance-fueled Barnstormers, a lush and unforgettable story by Scott Snyder and renowned illustrator Tula Latoya. I'll tell you this. Look, as I'm looking through this, right, like some of these, if you take old pulp comics or like old like pre-code crime horror comics, this is what this looks like to me, right?
100%.
It's like, yeah, right. So it's his kind of tribute, and this is just what I assume. It's his tribute to like these old pulp magazines and comics where you get like some of it's crime, some of it's like crime, a little bit darker like a noir. Some of it's just straight horror, and some of it's like sci-fi craziness. But that's what you get.
Here you got your fantasy romance one,
and then you get a fantasy romance in there. So like it's very like that golden age kind of just like classic. But I'm sure it's going to have a very Scott Snyder weaves. He likes to tell big stories, so I'd be interested in how he's going to do all this, and if it is just 6 issues, like we're speculating. And Dr. Arcane says, "Yeah, Golden Age. Yep, yeah, I definitely agree with that." Next one, again, just a perfect example. It looks like it, but Dudley Datsun and the Forever Machine. So this is I want to click in on this one. I didn't really look at this one yet, but is this like sci-fi Rin Tin Tin essentially?
Right.
Is that a German Shepherd?
The world's greatest engineers have tried and failed to create a perpetual motion machine, a machine that could open doorways through space and time and other terrifying realities. So enter Dudley Datsun, a sci-fi loving geek who goes to school for gifted. Yeah. So even the names in this just feels like just.
What is the cartoon where like the boy and the talking dog time travel?
Oh,
that little black and white dog.
Yeah, the black and white dog. The dog is the smart one.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I know what you're talking about.
That's what this is.
His name's like Mr. Something, right? The dog's name.
Something.
Yeah.
Peabody.
So and what is it?
There's Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Peabody. That's
And
right.
Sherman.
So Jamal Eagly, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, is the artist. It looks pretty cool. I mean, like, I don't know that I'd read this, but who knows?
Hey, with it being on Comixology, it'd be easy to read that way first instead of having to go to a store and actually pick it up. It might be more appealing to try it if you could just do it from sitting on your couch,
Yeah, that is very true. I might try all of these out for the first issue just to see. Maybe we can figure something out about reviewing some of these for some upcoming videos. But and then his Western, right?
All-Star Western.
What?
I said, here's the All-Star Western.
Yeah, the All-Star Western, right? 1891. So, but it seems like it's got. Yeah, exactly. It's got some type of, I guess, horror element to it. I would imagine by dark substance found 666 feet underground. 66
Pass.
feet. Yeah, pass. You're the worst.
I like Dan Panosian's artwork a lot, especially when it comes to like Western-y looking stuff. I think he's really good at it. So
yeah,
that would be the reason I would read that.
You've heard of Jonah Hex. What about Jonah Sex?
That's correct. Duck and Cover. So Raphael Albuquerque is the main draw to this book. I mean, I love everything he draws.
It's not the terrible name with the guy ducking and covering on the cover. That's not what's appealing to you.
No, it's not. But yeah, I don't know. So it says that comes a manga-influenced teen adventure across a post-apocalyptic 1955 America. So yeah, sure. Let's go. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, it says when a sudden nuclear exchange obliterates the U.S., only the children who hid under their school desks are spared. What a fucking concept you got there.
So what is this, Archie?
Right?
Is this the teen Archie?
I'd read it if there were ducks.
Yeah, there's like a little duck peeping over the desk.
Maybe he becomes a duck.
They're all evil ducks.
And then the last one, which I think is probably the one I'm most excited for, just because it's Jacques and Scott Snyder and Jacques' work on, which was awesome, is the Book of Evil. And I mean, it seems like this might be one of the features because even the description is like the Book of Evil is ambitious storytelling, feature a unique combination of prose and multiple styles of illustration. So, Zack Snyder does this a lot, right? He writes his stories and he has people with, single page illustrations and things like that. So I think this is going to be more of a story and less of a comic book, I would imagine. But it seems like this is going to be one of those ones where he's got something to say. So
if I would send you a message, it would pop up on your screen. I just sent you the word penis into the group chat.
It could, but I have it shut off right now.
Very suspicious.
I can see it flashing up there on the top.
Yeah, you can. Penis. Good job. You are officially a 12-year-old boy. Good job.
I'm just tired, okay? Don't talk to me then.
It's okay. Well, we don't have to prolong anything.
I did see a comment asking me a question, so I'm gonna answer that real quick.
All right, we don't have time for it. Let's go. Let's end the show, please.
This one?
Yeah, that one. I won't make it long or anything. The New 52 story arc was completely built, in my opinion, to be a tie-in story, like a big DC event. They tied it into Animal Man and into the fuck was that other book? Something else.
Justice League Dark?
No. There was a third book. I don't. Anyways,
was it Duck and Cover?
No. And it 100% just felt like a big action movie. Like there was no heart behind it, in my opinion, whatsoever. It was, let's give Swamp Thing wings and have him fly around and have it was just big, huge action all the time. And I thought it was a really cheap way to use Swamp Thing as a character. I have always liked his more close to home and more touching stories and things like that. When you take him and you just use him as like a big god monster to like destroy things, it's not as interesting to me at all. So that was my feeling. I even spoke to an artist that worked on a few issues. I won't name him to get him in trouble if anyone was going to go talk to him. It's not like he's watching it, but he told me the exact same thing. He said he hated working on it the entire time because he felt like it was an action movie and there was no point to it. There was no heart to it whatsoever.
Yannick Paquette.
It wasn't him. I love him. He's a great guy. He's those funny
All
Canadian.
Right, now draw Swamp Thing with wings.
Yeah. Yeah. So. But yeah. So after Snyder left after issue 18, I thought Charles Soule did a lot of really cool stuff that I enjoyed much more than the first 18 issues that Snyder did. That's all.
Yeah. I don't know. Snyder is just he changes everything. He goes over the top and makes big sweeping changes, which is I guess it works for some characters, it doesn't work for others.
Are you wearing a necklace, Mike?
He's fucking Italian, of course he is.
Am I wearing a necklace? Yes, I am. It's not an Italian necklace. They're beads.
At first it looked like a dog collar, and I was like, yeah, you are Italian to me. Or to you that I don't know about.
It's a long ass necklace, bro.
They're beads. They're from Thailand.
You touch your belly button?
They do. They sit right on top and tickle it, and I go, ooh. It feels good. All right. Anything else we need to talk about there, gentlemen?
Wait. It's still a necklace, though.
It is. I didn't say I wasn't.
Yeah, you just keep saying it's beads, like it's something different than a necklace.
Well, they're yeah.
It's not a chain, as you say.
Yeah, it's not like I'm over here with my gold chain over here.
I was really hoping so.
With your silver chain with a giant cross on it,
Right?
or like a plate of spaghetti or something on it.
Sitting in a bed of chest hair.
Yeah.
I did eat spaghetti today.
Spaghetti.
It was delicious because we were lazy and I had sauce in the fridge. So
my girlfriend was like, I want to go to Italy and have some spaghetti. And I'm like, like real Italians don't eat it with like all the meat sauce and shit. Like it's just fucking the sauce and the noodles. And she's like, what? What kind of shit is that? And I was like, that's like an American thing. Like real Italians don't eat that fucking meat sauce shit, bro. She's like, I don't want to go there then. And I was like, yeah, let's not go there.
Let's save the money and spend it all on meat sauce.
Yeah. And don't go to Italy. Just eat meat sauce in Texas. That's way better. That's definitely my recommendation to people out there. If you want to travel to Italy, don't. Just stay at home and eat meat sauce.
That's the best part about spaghetti is the meat sauce, bro. I put sausage in my spaghetti. Game changer.
Game changer. I took sauce out and I put hot Italian sausage in it and simmered that bitch and then cooked some linguine and it was delicious.
Wait, there's no sauce in it?
Yeah, sauce. Yeah, I took sauce out. I said, yeah, because I make sauce, obviously.
Oh.
I'm Italian.
He was saying he like took it out of the cupboard and stuff. Not like he took it out of the dish.
I thought you were just eating like noodles and sausage.
No.
Here's me just eating noodles and sausage.
Hey, sometimes, man, I'll tell you
with my bead necklace on.
One of my favorite dishes is we used to do at one of the restaurants I worked at was just like sweet sausage cut up and you saute it with a bunch of like garlic and broccoli rabe and throw like pappardelle pasta in there with a ton of olive oil, Parmesan cheese. That shit's fire.
I never saw anything fancy like that. We used to eat ramen noodles with fried hot dogs.
Yeah, like you can do that too. That's good too.
Maybe crush some fucking nacho cheese Doritos on top.
Yes, jailhouse style.
That's a delicacy.
None of this fancy stuff.
Be fancy. I am also pro meat.
Yeah, you have to have meat sauce. You can't just eat sauce and noodles. This is not fucking Alfredo. It's spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
But I guess it's like one of those things. Like if you're used to eating spaghetti with meat sauce, it would be weird just to eat fucking noodles and sauce.
You've never had just like noodles with like olive oil and garlic, or like
but I don't call it spaghetti.
Maybe after I'd eaten the chicken off of the.
But I mean, if it's spaghetti, it's spaghetti. Spaghetti's not a dish; it's a type of pasta.
Nah,
nah.
That's not how that works.
It's either macaroni or spaghetti. Those are the two options, and they both are red.
And they both are covered in meat sauce. Shit, even macaroni with hamburger meat in it is fucking amazing. Throw some rotel in that shit. Throw some hamburger meat in there.
Chili Mac's even pretty good.
Yeah, game changer, bro.
Game changer. That's hamburger helper, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. And you can't do the powder macaroni and cheese. Powder macaroni and cheese is gross as shit. You gotta get that fucking Velveeta cheese in a bag and you squeeze it all out and you don't know if you got it all out.
Oh man, Annie's is pretty good. I don't know.
Boo.
Boo. All right, I'm hungry now.
All right, fuck you guys.
On that note,
take us out, Tom.
All right, I don't have a lot to say. Go read Coda and tell Mike what he missed because he didn't read it all. It was good. It was worth reading.
Or listen to our horrible review of the book.
Yeah, exactly.
find out absolutely nothing about Coda.
I would love for people to actually pick up a book that we talk about and then rewatch how we talked about it and see how fucking close or how completely far away we are when we talk about these things. But yeah, we're gonna read We Three next by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, and that should be really cool, really quick. We'll talk about Suicide Squad next week, and enjoy your weekend.
Wait. There's a show on, I think it's on HBO Max, maybe on Netflix too, called Losers. It's also based on a comic book.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
And it has
draw that.
Captain America's in it.
Captain America is in it.
Yeah,
it was the movie Losers.
Yeah.
And Chris
Losers.
Evans. It's old. It's like 12 years ago.
Is it old?
Yeah.
It's from 2010.
Oh shit. Yeah, we should watch that too.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
got some good.
Yeah,
It's got a really good.
Chris Evans has been in the most comic book movies overall with all the other random shit that he did.
Yeah, well, he was Johnny Storm, so
Unfortunately,
it's true.
I also forgot because I watched Blade 3 how fucking Ryan Reynolds was Hannibal King.
yeah.
I forgot all about that.
He's got some big Netflix movie coming out.
Oh yeah, that was like shit.
Which one? Free Guy?
Free Guy or something like that.
Yeah, I thought that was in theaters, not Netflix.
I think it go in the theaters. I don't know what Mike's talking about.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he had some Netflix stuff coming out. Anyways, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? And I don't give a fuck. And mostly because we just don't give a fuck about any of you. So, well, thanks anyways for joining us for this horrible thing.
Thanks for watching the show. Greg's an idiot.
We're all fucking tired.
9/11 was a conspiracy. Don't get the
true.
vaccine.
birds aren't real.
Global warming. Spaghetti with meat sauce.
InsideGrades.com.
Spaghetti and meat sauce. The spaghetti and meat sauce falls right off the flat Earth. So
Flat Earth, aliens.
Aliens. Always listen to Joe Rogan, and that's it.
Cleopatra